Now that I've clearly defined my personal position on Metroid Prime 4, how I really like it and how I consider it one of the year's best, and how anybody who says otherwise is coping. It's time we break down exactly where it all went wrong. Like, why are so many people angry at Metroid Prime? The easy answer is that they were never fans of Metroid and that they were never Nintendo fans and that you can't take them seriously. And I think for like 90% of the people complaining you see complaining online, you can kind of fit those people neatly into those categories. Go into any random person complaining about the game on Twitter, and it's always some PC master race shill. Um, like, again, it's just nothing but a cope. It's just an attempt at trying to gaslight people into thinking the Switch 2 has no games and that Nintendo's on the way out, and it's just nothing but a cope. But you do have like 10% of the population who genuinely don't like this game, and it is kind of important to like address the fact as to why this is happening, why this is such an issue, why people are like, so conflicted about these games. The simple fact of the matter is they got filtered. Like, the simple fact of the matter is, a lot of people picked this up thinking it was going to be some stale, derivative, uninspired Halo knockoff, when in reality, it was the far superior Metroid Prime, a series that requires intelligence, skill, sophistication to enjoy and appreciate. And that's kind of the core issue. That's always been the issue when it comes to Metroid Prime. The reason why people like froth at the mouth over low IQ nonsense like Call of Duty Modern Warfare or Halo 3 or Dead Space, BioShock, Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, Red Dead Redemption, like Portal. The reason why, like Half-Life 2, the reason why so many people like worship those games is that those are casualized experiences that are heavily streamlined, that handhold people through the entire experience, right? They're not scary, they don't challenge the player, they're not intuitive, they're not intellectually stimulating enough, right? Like, all you do in those games is watch a bunch of cutscenes play out and like listen to those stupid those audio logs, and like listen, like experience the story as the developers intended. Metroid Prime is quite a bit beyond that, because unlike those games, Metroid Prime is actually focused on the gameplay. It's actually focused on having tight level design, amazing mechanics, great combat situations, amazing like fundamental, just out of this world gameplay elements. Like, Metroid Prime 4 is very, very much unlike these other games. Like, it is a much more focused experience that is targeted towards a specific demographic. People who like Metroid games, people who like exploring, people who enjoy the vibe and the style of Metroid. And that, because it's such a hardcore dedicated thing, it's not for a mainstream audience. Metroid is not a AAA franchise and never has been. The simple fact of the matter is that the people who are upset with Prime 4, who don't enjoy it, who think it sucks, who think it didn't evolve enough, these people were simply filtered by what the studio was trying to do. That's simply the reality of it, is that they got filtered. And I really think this is a term that really needs to be normalized when it comes to like Nintendo discourse online, because you saw a lot of this with like Princess Peach Showtime and Mario and the Luigi Brothership and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, No More Heroes 3, Bayonetta 3, Animal Crossing New Horizons. Like, a lot of these games that come out that are masterpieces, that are huge hits, and you constantly see people coming out and saying, "Well, it's not very good. Oh, Nintendo has no games. Oh," like, you just got filtered, bro. Like, traditionally, we've seen like getting filtered as having something to do with the difficulty and not being able to beat the game. But Metroid Prime 4 is really interesting in that a lot of people are beating the game. They are getting through it, and they're just coming to like the completely incorrect conclusion about the experience and what it actually entails. Because you're seeing a lot of people, a couple of days ago, people were spurging out about the ending. They were finally beating the game after a week, and they were just like, "Oh man, it's so disrespectful how Samus left everyone behind and killed them all. Like, Samus sucks." Like, they had no understanding of the context. They had no idea that, like, the troopers were like willingly sacrificing themselves. They had no idea that Samus had to leave the planet because, the Lamorn left behind some essential knowledge that would benefit the entire universe. Like, essentially, what happened is a lot of these people didn't understand the plot. They didn't understand the implication. They didn't understand it. Like, it wasn't spoon fed to them. And as a result of that, they didn't understand it. And as a result, they were filtered. So for someone like me who did understand the plot, who did understand the plot, who put in a lot of work, like scanning everything and like talking to other people about it and like getting to know the characters and getting invested in them, like I was very, very moved by their sacrifice, and honestly now consider Metroid Prime 4 to be the all-time greatest like Metroid ending. Like I was shocked by like how well produced that cutscene at the end actually was. It was stunning, and we're supposed to believe that Metro like this ending was bad because like, well, a bunch of people died. No, I that's what makes it good. That's what makes it like evocative. That's what makes it tragic. That's what makes it like a good story. Essentially, people have this weird idealized view of it where they're just like, well, Samus didn't even try to save them. It's like, yeah, she wasn't in a position to do it. It's just how it turned out. Like it's remarkable how these people just do everything they possibly can to present themselves as hardcore Metroid fans when in reality they don't understand the franchise at all. They don't understand. Like it's interesting. Like they went to such lengths, like complaining about the NPC characters initially. Complaining about like how Samus is alone all the time. Oh, she has no friends. And then like when she loses them at the end of Prime 4, like people were surprised by that. Like, oh man, how could she do this to them? Like it's remarkable how people just aren't able to process the subtleties in the storytelling, how they aren't able to appreciate the artistry, how they aren't able to appreciate the high IQ storytelling that's at work here. It's just so far beyond them because they really can't handle anything more complicated than shoot the bad guy. That's what these guys are. These guys think this is BioShock. They think this is Mass Effect. They think this is Dead Space, where like just shoot the bad guy until it's dead and everything is fine. And that's just not how life works out sometimes. You need to grow up a little bit. You need to get some perspective, and you need to understand that Metroid is just a higher quality franchise than anything else you've been playing over the past 10 years. That's simply the reality of the situation. Like the thing I've been noticing is that hardcore Metroid fans are very, very pleased with this release. They very, very much like it, but it's the casuals who are filtered. It's the casuals who don't understand this game, don't understand the appeal, and are complaining about it. Even if they're able to beat the game, like they simply just don't have the mental capacity to understand just how good this actually is. They are too stupid to appreciate Metroid Prime 4 and really need to understand that. They simply are not the target audience.